Um, okay. Hi, welcome to Hidden Tears Unplugged. My name is Samantha Calicchio, and I'm your vlog hostess. And we're here with Elida Tsou. I'm pronouncing that correctly? Elida Tsou?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I just tell people say so because it's Chinese, so it's actually Zhou, but I don't
Zhou,
expect anybody
okay.
to say that.
No.
Good
To
one.
know.
Good
Good to
one.
know.
That's impressive. Points to you.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself for those who haven't listened to Carmi's podcast, which was just sound. Tell us a little bit about what you do and just briefly, like, how you got involved with Hidden Tears Project.
Great. So, gosh, where do I start? How did I get involved? Well, I heard your last one. How do I get involved with Hidden Tears Project? And what was your first one, love?
Just like a little bit about what you do and like the connection between your jewelry and your causes and that kind of thing.
Okay. So that's a great question. So I started maybe 2001 is when I started grad school. In fact, Northwestern University, this is an interesting story. Now, I'm all into stories. I have to apologize ahead of time.
Please, no, it's good.
Okay, just get ready. Lots of stories. I love stories. I think it gives context. But anyway, so when I went to Northwestern for my master's in marriage family therapy, my orientation, actually, no joke, the orientation was scheduled for 9/11, 2001. And I arrived in Chicago, crashed at my girlfriend's place from Berkeley. Like, we were college friends and roommates and all. She was there for law school, and so she was downtown Chicago. I crashed with her the night before, thinking, go up the next morning, go to Evanston, and go to my orientation. And then her roommate, I will never forget this, Christine, amazing woman. She's a reporter, and so she was super early in the morning at 4. Ran into the room and woke her up and said, "Hey, World War III is happening." So anyway, that was my first day in Chicago. Of course, we scheduled our orientation, but to the day after, and it was insane. But that was when I started grad school. It was 2001, and that year, it was a year in school, 2 years altogether. Right after, in the middle, I moved, and I had a roommate. Her name is Beth Respis, and she made jewelry, for Jennifer Beal, that 80s queen. Right? I watch that all the time.
She's in the L Word, too.
Huh?
She was in the L Word, too, and she's in a couple other things now.
Yeah. Oh, really? Very cool. I didn't know that.
She's one of my favorites.
So cool.
I love her. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I want to find out what she's up to. Okay, very cool. Anyway, so yeah, it was her jeweler. It was my roommate, turns out, and that's just taught me to make stuff. So I started making things not for charity, but just for fun. And then it wasn't until, and you may know the story a little bit, the buyers for Jennifer would come over to the apartment, would look at Beth's stuff, buy her stuff, and then soon they liked my stuff, so they would actually start buying it for themselves. So I was like, whoa, hey, fun, how flattering, It's like, that's kind of nice. I didn't think that someone would like my stuff that much. And it just kind of went for fun for there. Fast forward, moved back to LA, where I'm from, and in July 2007, I had my license in marriage family therapy from Illinois, and I started something totally different. I decided to switch completely. I was a little burnt out because I was working with low-income, high-risk, foster care kids, refugee families, you name it. Middle class too, but still a lot of it was minority, high risk. And so when I got back to LA, I was a little burnt out. So I actually entered the corporate world, a corporate 100 position in training, and then I ended up just making jewelry. And then I started my very first piece, I would say, from Elida Designs line, doing something for Children's Hunger Fund. So that's kind of how I started.
Okay.
And then how did I find Hidden Tears Project? So I actually met Jordan. Jason wasn't there. It was just Jordan. And we were at the business mixer near the beach, one of the hotels near the beach in Santa Monica. I don't remember exactly which one it was. And we were just hanging out, and there was a bunch of people packed in that room, and I think I was on the way out, and I just felt kind of like drawn to that group, so I kind of hung out a little bit, and she asked me what I did, and I shared that I do jewelry, and I do work with nonprofits. I give back and one of my causes was human trafficking to help not just raise awareness, but really help the victims, hear a message through jewelry that could really touch their hearts and give them a new thought about themselves. So she was really excited about it. She, in fact, knew about the nonprofit, Treasures nonprofit that I work with. So that's how we started collaborating. She told me that she had that project, Hidden Tears project, going on. And so I'm like, that sounds fun. Let's do something. And before you knew it, we connected. There was one event, fundraiser in downtown LA, on Sunset, and I attended, loved what they were doing, did spoken word, they did a short film. I could tell it was well written, writers a bunch of amazing writers, and people love watching their shows on Netflix. So I was like, this is really well done. And at that time, we talked about a design. So I told them, I actually often do designs very intuitively. Mm-hmm. There's a message that already is inspired by ways I help people in and out of coaching, counseling, and just my own life journey. And there was one called Teardrop. And I thought, just uncanny. Same thing happened with Little Treasures. I actually had a necklace called Little Treasures Necklace before I even knew of the nonprofit, Treasure Nonprofit. People ask me what my Myers-Briggs is because, therapist. And I'm like, oh, it's an ENFP. I'm a off the charts NNF, which basically means I'm a huge intuitive, huge feeler. And I think that's obviously where a lot of the creativity comes from. Some people call it tapped in. Anyway, so I'm learning. That's what's going on. So I kind of say a little prayer, and I'm like, hey, the things that I create, I believe there'll be partners for them. And it's exciting. It's been really exciting to see that happen. So for Teardrop necklace, that's exactly what happened. So I was like, you won't believe Jordan and Jason, but I actually have one. And this is the message. It's tears of grief. They're healing, and they have the ability to help transform into tears of joy. And
speaking of that, I loved on your website, it says jewelry is a life coaching tool to help you focus on what you desire more of in your life and help bring it to pass. I love that. Can you speak a little bit about the power of symbols and jewelry on a person's life and mindset, and how wearing jewelry can help you sort of transform?
Yeah, I love your question. Well said, well phrased. But exactly, that's you captured it, love. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing some. I took a lot off. I mean, I haven't been wearing all of mine. I've been cleaning around the house, but I wear staples, and these don't ever come off. I sleep and shower and clean and do all that, cook in them. I even swim in the ocean in them. No joke. So this has been in Cancun and Cabo with me. Couple different oceans. But I wear them because it really does remind me when I'm making them. I'm inspired when I make something of a message that's coming across from life. And just intuitively speaking, something that just comes from my gut, my heart, my spirit, whatever you want to call it. And, the one I'm wearing on my index finger is called Remembrance Ring. And the reason I made it is because I realized how janky our thoughts can be sometimes. How, our thoughts truly control what we draw, attract, and act. It affects our behavior, affects the way we perceive the world and people around us and our situations in life. And for me, it was a coaching tool for myself to recognize, hey, I'm sure I'm not the only woman or person who needs to remember that we need to count those amazing things and say our thank yous and our gratitudes and the miracles, and how focusing on that transforms your brain chemistry, your synapses, your axons, your dendrites, your receptors, all kinds of things that help you focus on the positive. My father used to say to me, Elida, you need to look at the glass half full. It's kind of the idea of doing that, but in a way that's wearable. It's a symbol. It doesn't have to be overt. It doesn't say on here, whatever it might be, positive mindset, right? I mean, that could help too. But for me, I like subtle stuff that complements what you wear, and you don't have to scream it out to the world, but you know it,
Actually,
I was just in Laguna Beach.
Too.
Yeah, I was in Laguna Beach, literally just they have live music, awesome, beautiful place at Surf and Sand Resort. And I was just relaxing there on Friday, and the lady sitting across from me was a marriage family therapist as well. And she asked me about my jewelry. I never even mentioned it. She's like, hey, what is that about? And she actually asked about this piece and a bracelet that matches it. And she's like, I love that. I could use that, and I can see that helping people, my clients. I'm like, absolutely. That's kind of why I made it, you know? So it's fun, I wear pieces like Love Encompasses All. It's like a pure silver little, I take it from wire and hand hammer it. It's a little circlet. And it reminds me of how we're shaped in life, and we're to love all of ourselves. Love encompasses all of us and the people that we love in life. We're to love all of it, right? Good, challenge, opportunities, learning opportunities, all of it. So, yeah.
Amazing. I love that. Can you tell us a little bit about what attracted you? I know that you met Jordan and you guys connected, but it's a big deal to create sort of a partnership for a period of time with an organization. Can you tell us why Hidden Tears Project specifically attracted you? What about human trafficking do you have a tie to? Like, what is it about that?
Oh, that's good. That's a great question. I started learning about it, honestly, when I'm a churchgoer, and we had a couple of, messages where pastors were sharing about that and raising awareness, saying we need to help make a difference here. This is an injustice, and it's modern day slavery. It's worse than that, and it's worse than even before. Can you imagine? It's not gotten better, it's gotten worse. It just has a different look to it, has a different, what you'd not imagine. And then realizing, wow, it's happening right here in LA, in our backyard. Like, a lot of it is happening here. A significant amount is being generated here, and it's hiding in plain view with another name. So I discovered, whoa, 70% of people who are trafficked are in clubs, are in gentlemen's clubs, it's shocking. And it makes you go, whoa, rethink this, and for me, I always start from the person. I start from a universal message. I think it's very core and deep and needed for each person to fulfill their potential, to thrive as a person. Mm-hmm. So for me, that value and that message of value and worth, as a woman, as an individual, that if a woman knows she's loved, she's priceless, she's valued, she's got a purpose, I'm sure, the way she interacts with people, the way she sees herself, the way she conducts herself in life, in every area changes, because it's a message we need to hear. Now, even speaking for myself, when something in life happens and I let that message be stolen, then I respond to life in a different way than if I remember, hey, I'm priceless, I'm valued, I'm purposed. I need to value that myself. And it doesn't matter what happens around you, but you can stand up. So that very message, like, for instance, the Little Treasures necklace, that very message that they're priceless, valued, purposed, starts seeding something and then they maybe didn't hear or receive, and that starts being very incongruous with what they're experiencing, how people are treating them. And they begin to feel like it doesn't fit. It's pretty cool. Some of the testimonies you hear. We thankfully been able to give now more than 200 necklaces through Little Treasures to women, and actually, I'm amazed. Like, I've been blessed to see some ladies wearing it on ABC, I think, news interviews, and a treasure is wearing it, and it just touches me. Like, it's gonna make me cry. I'm a crier. I'm a total feeler, right? So I just love it. It moves me, I'm just like, that's why I did that. That's all I want to know is people are getting helped. People are hearing the message, and it's getting out there. I think that every woman needs to hear it. More than just a treasure or somebody's going through trafficking, every woman needs to hear it. I think it's prevention. I think of it that way. If you have that message, you have that with you where it's prevention. It gets you out of all kinds of things that what, that doesn't match. As a woman of high value, I won't do that, So,
brilliant. Yeah. I love that. Elida, where can we find your
You can find my jewelry on my website. It's www.elidadesigns.com. And it's exciting. Yeah, go on there. You can browse some other jewelry with different messages. They're amazing as gifts to somebody you love, who you feel like maybe going through something, or you would just like to affirm something in them. There are a couple other causes I support through the jewelry line you'll see. But pretty much 10% of my sales go to my foundation, and that's how we do it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited to have sat down with you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for what you do.